welcome back. It's still Business Morning right here on Channels Television. And next we're discussing cybersecurity, which has become increasingly important, seeing that life is moving more online. How do you get protected? How do you stay protected? What are the opportunities around there also? Because every necessity obviously creates an opportunity. Well, I have a technology ambassador right here in the studio. He is Michael Ikem. He's the country director of Think Cyber Nigeria and Cybersecurity Innovator. Thank you so much, Mr. Ikem, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, everybody knows now the essence or the need to be cyber secure. But the knowledge, is it still excluded? Should it be a general knowledge when you talk about cyber security? Okay,
when it comes to knowledge, it can be broken down into those who are actually actively fighting the cybersecurity war and those who are working in a firm. They need to protect themselves. So they give those kind of people what we call cybersecurity awareness training. However, the real fight goes to those who are actually working and helping to protect people's cybersecurity assets. They need to be trained properly in the sense of what build capacity. Now, when it comes to training, three things come to mind. Now, the environment in which they are trained, that's a simulator. Two, the content of the training. Now, which is what is the content of the training updated? Is it threats that are happening recently? And the last part is the standard of the training. What kind of standard? Is it aligned with global standard? We have NIST standard, we have ISO 27001 standard, we have all other standards. So those things are what we should look at. Now, averagely, what every company is trying to achieve is cybersecurity resilience. According to Cisco, unfortunately, only 3% of companies in Africa have actually been able to achieve that. We don't have more than 9,000 experts in the whole of Africa, with more than 150,000 space gap for experts. So how do we now face and manage this particular gap need? One is by actually building a steady pipeline of experts. So that is why it's good we actually tap from the root, which is why the program called the Classroom to CISO is actually the best way to actually build capabilities. Now, from the universities, actually aligning students to proper simulation training, where they learn the core fundamentals, pillars of threat currently facing Nigeria as a country, which is in every CISO, in every SOC, Security Operations Center, in a day in the life there, a core knowledge of penetration testing, SOC incident response, threat hunting, digital forensics are key parts of what students should know, not just only learning a simulator where they could build capabilities from entry level to professional. Now, entry level to professional, this is what has been implemented and tested, and we have people already.
So what you're suggesting is this should be like core courses in universities?
Yes, inclusion of simulation training in BSc and MSc cybersecurity.
Do we have courses?
Yeah, we have BSc.
In our traditional universities?
Yes, but there's no inclusion of this core technical training in it yet. So inclusion will actually make students come out industry ready.
So are you talking to government policy now? I know we did some changes to our curriculum recently.
Yeah, government policy, including core technical, because cybersecurity is becoming a national issue. Whether you like it or not, Nigeria is sitting on 4 or 5 unicorn fintech. That I think unicorn status, the like of Flutterwave, MoneyPoint, they are $1 billion companies. All those infrastructures are actually sitting on the cloud, and they need hands. Now, as it grows into the future, more hands will be needed. Now, we're looking at, when we say experts, we're not looking at somebody who is going to come in and waiting for the company to train. We're looking at people who actually add value from day one. So that's the kind of way they actually graduate out of a simulation training. So they graduate already adding value from day one. Why? Because of the environment in which they are trained. The content of training already mirrors real-world cybersecurity scenarios that are already happening around the world. That students are already in tandem with the recent threats that happened this year, not in 2018.
You know, this reminds me of a movie I watched where I think they have cybersecurity officers, cybersecurity police station. You know, like a police station, but it's all for cybersecurity. So if you have a threat, or you feel, you know, your data has been compromised, you call them, and you know, just the way you make reports and all of that. Perhaps that's the future also.
Yeah, in the real structure, when it comes to cybersecurity with the police, it has to do with crime. Now, when it comes to managing private or public assets, there are companies or sectors, they call them the MSSP, Managed Security Service Provider. We have the likes of CyberSoc Africa, here, CyberDome, they manage people's assets. Now, the people who work for them, now when it comes to cybersecurity, three things come to play. In the journey to cyber resilience, there are three things: technology, people, process. Now, if the right people is not there, the right technology cannot be chosen. The right process cannot be set. Now, what we've been lacking is the right people.
Do we really lack the right people, or the right people, or the right people have left? That's the problem.
The gap is much.
After that wave of Japa that we had,
you are right. There is a high level of transition in the tech space. However, the gap is not only in Nigeria; it's global. It's global. So what you do?
Because demand is suddenly surging.
The demand. Cybersecurity is the way to go for the future. So the demand is rising. So there is a need to actively and strategically build a pipeline. And building a pipeline has to be strategic. It has to come from the universities, where you have core universities who have absorbed technology to actually equip students to be industry ready from day one.
So we're looking at special schools now.
No, not really special schools. Schools already doing BSc cybersecurity, MSc cybersecurity, partnering with technology company that has a simulator. They had it, merge it with what they're already doing. They produce next generation professionals. You get it clearly. So it's the standard in the UK. It's the standard in the US. It's the standard in most other countries. So the universities know that they are not technology people. So the best they could do is to partner with technology people that can bring in this technology. So as they're doing their own theory, so the standard can be for 30% theory, 70% technical core training.
But do we have these experts that would collaborate with the schools?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're already talking about the gap.
Yeah, we have there are cyber simulator companies in Nigeria here who could actually work with universities and actually push this, push the gap. What that does, it creates a steady pipeline. You know, the CISOs of most of these banks, they're actually battling with threats.
CISO, you mean
Chief Information Security Officer. They are the head of the cybersecurity unit. They're battling with threats. And one of the things they actually constantly face is lack of manpower. Because the ones that they always transition. Now, from the university, the way we could actually bridge the gap is to actually ensure that world-class technology companies who have been proven across the world, you understand, partnering with these universities, we help make the students ready from the one.
Who will pay for it? Because even the experts will also have to be paid. Then you talk about the infrastructure that will be used. We know how our schools are. Our schools on strike.
The technology comes. The tech company provides the infrastructure. Is in the cloud. Now the cost. I think government should actually, for me, in some cases, some subvention to choice universities so that they know that it's a program to actually ensure that there is a steady flow of quality experts to both government agencies, banks. You understand? We can choose 1, 2, 3, 4 universities. There'll be a subvention for such training. We train 1,000 people annually.
Isn't that far-fetched when you put it on government? I mean, I like to be real.
Okay. No, individual.
So we have NEL fund now.
Okay, yeah.
We have NEL fund.
Yes.
And government, of course, they've specified what NEL fund covers.
Okay.
Cover school fees and I think a bit of feeding and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to add more, where does it come from?
Okay.
Is it state government?
Okay.
Is it the federal government?
Good. I think I missed that out. So. Platforms like NEL Fund can be used to cater for students for this kind of training. Now, the truth about it is this, whether you like it or not, you can come up with an MSc. We've had a case of a guy who did an MSc in cybersecurity in Ireland. After finishing, he could not get a job. Now, why? Because the core training you need, it's not, most of the time, the universities don't teach it. It's only few universities who have incorporated core technical training like a technology. It makes students ready. So it's until he actually had to come out and align with what a technology training. That's what actually did what he got a job as much as 45,000 euros while still in training. So that tells you the power of the training. Now, simulation training is the way to go to actually ensure we produce next generation professionals in Nigeria.
So what about, we have corpus now, those who have come out of school, what happens to them?
Good, they can take advantage of the training. You understand? The Classroom to CISO program that was designed actually captures that gestation period. Now, when the students take the training while still in school, immediately they come out, we call it the Kaizen, the Kaizen gap. So while at home up until NYC and even till they get their first job, they stay in an accelerator where they do professional practice every day. This is to keep them in tandem with recent threats across Nigeria, across the world, so that the first spot they have on a job interview, they actually hasten the interview.
So, but do we have companies who are actively and intentionally asking for cybersecurity experts now? Do we have that demand? Do we have the market yet in Nigeria?
Yes, we have. The only thing we don't have are people who can actually walk in and actually add value from day one. There is always a demand. The training is what is the problem. Now, why? Because cybersecurity is not what you can actually, I can't start using your gadgets to hack. There has to be a simulator in the cloud, like a dojo. I practice to mastery. There, I am actually evaluated, tested, vetted, and certified. Now I'm exposed to industry projects in the course of the program. So with that, I can handle threats immediately as I actually enter the industry. There are companies in Nigeria who are already doing this thing with some universities, you understand? However, it needs to actually be expanded so that it can actually meet with the demand currently in the Nigerian market space.
All right, Mr. Ikem, please just hold your breath for a bit. Let's just take a short break. When we come back, we'll conclude this conversation. And of course, we'll move on to other parts of the program. Please stay with us. still watching Business Morning right here on Channels Television, and we're discussing the future of cybersecurity in Nigeria, getting the youth involved as early as possible. And right here in the studio, we have a technology ambassador, Mr. Michael Ikem, the country director of Think Cyber Nigeria. Mr. Ikem, thank you for your patience staying with us. So we're talking about getting youth involved as early as possible. And then we talked about how even if they're out of the university, at least the first degree stage, it's not too late. But I'm thinking, are there requirements? Are there certain gifts that individuals should have before they can? I don't think it's everybody that can just go into this cybersecurity.
Okay, with the little time we spend in Nigeria, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, we've seen non-tech people come in and beat tech people at interviews, the ones that passed through some of our trainings. I can remember a lady who read English. She was just an English instructor. I think it's all about passion, time, and dedication. Having said that, but when we started moving into the universities, we see the tech guys, they do exceptional things. We have a couple of them actually in the pipeline. I don't think it's a gift thing. I think it's a passion thing. And we've noticed that the ones from the industrial training, they have the energy and they actually break records year on year. So they actually already experts, just waiting to actually get an interview slot. So first, passion. 2, start early with focus. 3, if you have somebody who is willing to sponsor you, I think you should just start driving. The world is actually moving very fast, and we have youth scattered all over the place who can direct their energies into what we do and make a good. And funny enough, it's actually a global thing. So it's not only Nigeria. So you could take, that's why I said the standard of the training. So when you are taking a training that gives you a certification that have access across 100 countries, you are sure that you can actually take a training here, and you find once you get to UK or US, you can tender such certificate. The skill is same thing. So if I have to wrap up now, a technology that is competitive across the globe, US, UK, actually partnering with a Nigerian university will actually produce one of the best brands you have in Africa. 2, we've been to a couple of universities. They have some good brains there. It's just that they're not exposed to this kind of technology and information, and you understand they're boxed to a corner. So the ones who are exposed, they're doing within 3 months, you see them become tier 3 capability. So you see, those are the kind of recruits, talent most of these CISOs are looking for.
I wonder what an interview session, for a job with, for Cisco. I wonder, CISO, CISO. I wonder how it looks like. Is it practical? Is it?
You mean to get into a chief information security officer?
Yes.
No, it's at the position of a chief information security officer. It's no longer technical. You would have built at least years of technical expertise. You're looking at an enterprise.
So what about the entry points? It's more practical?
Now it's more of technical. That is why you see most of these guys miss it. They don't get it from the university. So what they want at that stage is for you to come in and add technical value. Now within the
the test. The interview period
the interview, the ones who've seen, the ones we conduct, you give them a project to do from home. They develop it, they come to defend it. Now the interview now starts.
Okay.
So it's actually a litmus test. So if you can do that, we're sure you have value to add from day one.
All right, thank you so much. I mean, I just wanted to know that for your time and the expository right there, Mr. Ikem Michael, the country director of Think Cyber Nigeria and also Cybersecurity Innovator. Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.